They say things just because, you know, it's the PC thing to say. Okay, yeah, oh yeah, we respect elected leaders. Yeah, like we did in Ukraine and all these other places, all the way back to 1953. You know, in Iran, we have a habit of not respecting elections, but preaching that we force democracy on these other countries. It's pure hypocrisy, and I think that's why people harbor a lot more resentment toward us than people realize. When you're powerful, when you're the richest, and you can put on sanctions and freeze assets and threaten them with military, you know, you don't know how strong the resentment is. Prior to that, or at least prior to the Korean War, wars were fought with more determination, that there was a declaration of war. We knew either Germany was the enemy or Japan was the enemy. And then they would fight and there was an end to it. Now, since the 1990s, they're sort of perpetual and they go on. Even Korea and Vietnam eventually ended. But right now, we've been fighting wars in the Middle East, and we're always looking for a new fight. Yeah. And this leads to a great deal of frustration, but also, you know, contributes to the economic turmoil we have, because none of these wars are fought cheaply. It's very expensive.
Ludwig von Mises' book, Socialism, he says that socialists have always had a dual strategy. One, to nationalize as much property as possible, but two, he called it destructionism, to destroy the private property, free enterprise system with taxes, regulation, inflation, whatever can work.
I'd actually like to make a little bit of news, and I would like to announce to our audience that Brian is going to be joining the Ron Paul Institute as a speaker at our September 10th conference, and we are just delighted to have him. He's got a great news story to tell how we really can make a difference. So look at the ronpaulinstitute.org website. You can find out more about coming to this very exciting conference.
You know, the European Union follows the U.S. into these unwinnable, immoral wars that are seemingly unending. And as a result, they've reaped what you warned against many years ago, blowback. European nations have received blowback from terrorism, and they've had to deal with these massive migrations from war-torn areas, which have led to assaults and rapes of Native European people. So